Kev was never brought in as Brian Mack's replacement. He was brought in as a succession plan for Hetherington. Hetherington is getting on now. Like we were saying about there needs to be plans in place for what happens in a post-Hetherington and post-Carrick world.
Yeah.
They're both getting on. They've done so much for the club, but we need to have that plan. That's why on day one, Sinfield took over the foundation. Sinfield took over some of the roles that Hetherington had.
Yeah.
The player recruitment and stuff like that is now all in his. Is supposedly now all in his. But I reckon, there's still these deals can take months to have. So it's going to take a while before we see some decent recruitment from there. We know that the Jimmy Lowe's was all only brought in because Sinfield didn't have the badges, and he's just been there as a
couldn't get insurance on Sinfield for the job.
Yeah. And we know it was only a temporary solution, so we've all been waiting for this. And obviously, with us almost losing to Widnes, it was mainly a good time to make that announcement. All the announcements have been strategically placed. I'm surprised it wasn't 10 minutes before season tickets went on sale, to be honest. But it's good. I'm glad it's not a surprise. But again, agree completely with Rich Wilkinson that the issue is not coaching. The issue is just the players on the field are just. These are players that won grand finals, and they're knackered. They're not playing like they did, and so there's something significantly wrong there.
Yeah, there's been a problem backing up, hasn't there, for a number of years. We've seen the up and down yo-yo of the last 4 years for Leeds. On Ferner himself, I remember him coming over. It was when he first came over here, was pretty much when I was starting going regular watching Wigan, and he was one of the sort of star overseas signings. There was a guy who used to sit behind us who called him Disco. I think that must have been his nickname. And sing Disco Inferno, and so that's a memory that always will stick with me. And actually, do you know what? He was a quality bloke on the field. He was real. There was real leadership there, and he carried that to Leeds as well. And you hear when Sinfield talks about him, and Sinfield hasn't just said this now when he's appointing him. Mm-hmm. I've heard Sinfield say similar things about Ferner in the past about how he helped shape him and stuff like that. So I do think he's ably qualified as well. He's got good experience down under, not necessarily all positive experience. His time at Canberra was a little bit, maybe marred the legacy he had as a player there a little bit, because he couldn't really get a winning team together, but he was hampered a lot by injuries. Whenever they signed someone or whenever they had a star player, they'd get injured in the first 5 weeks of the season and be out, and it was I think he was at Canberra when the sort of problems with player behaviour were around, so that's something to keep an eye on. But he'll have learned from that experience. We're 5 years on from that experience. I think it's a good appointment, and it wasn't an appointment that I would have been satisfied with at my club when we were also looking for a coach. So good luck to him in that regard. Just as long as he keeps them steady rather than successful, I'm on board. Okay. Castleford have announced that they have generated a record profit of $691,000 for 2017. Turnover increased by 1.4 million to 6 million, and this growth was driven by increased gate receipts, sponsorship, record merchandise sales, and record bar sales. The increase has generated a record profit, like we say. The financial performance allowed the club to invest heavily in 2018, spending almost $250,000 on transfer fees to secure the services of players. Most of that on fullbacks during the middle to the end of the season. The club was also able to increase its salary cap spend in 2018 and spent up to the increased cap, including exemptions. This will be an increased spend of approximately $200,000. So obviously they're making more money and spending it on the product on the field. We had a couple of people get in touch.
They control. This is excellent news. Now to see if they can repeat it year after year and share the secret with other clubs. Actually expect that the secret isn't very secret at all, and it is have a competent financial controller who is empowered to tell people no, and a marketing department with a budget to spend whose bonuses are predicated on hitting agreed targets.
And Fatboy Rob says, basically, the whole club is awesome. The board, the coach, the players, the backroom staff, the groundsmen, and, most importantly, the fans. This came out last week, and we just missed putting it in the rundown, to be honest, for last week's show, but it's good. It's good news for Castleford. It continues their good news story. If there's been a good news side for that entire duration of the Super League pod, it's been the Castleford Tigers, I would say.
It is great news, and it's another club that starts to become profitable and not reliant on an owner. And at the end of the day, that's what we want to be. We want it's brilliant. And the increased merchandise sales, record bar sales. It's amazing when people start drinking more.
Yeah, throw 2 pint pints on for a winning team and everyone's supping. Okay, well done to Castleford there.
Yep.
What else we got?
Huddersfield Giants Ryan Hinchcliffe will retire at the end of the season and return to Australia. The Super League club have announced. The 33-year-old joined Huddersfield from the NRL side Melbourne Storm in 2016, or 216, as our friend Hetherington likes to say. Hinchcliffe began his career in Canberra, went on to join... What?
Your friend.
Yeah. Busy mates. And went on to join the Melbourne Storm in 2009 before moving to England 7 years later. He's revealed he will be returning to the Storm to begin his new chapter as a coach.
And we actually got quite a lot of people getting in touch on this news, which is great. HTFC Online, who I'm guessing focuses more on the football side of things, but has also been following the rugby club. He said, made a slow start at hooker, but once used correctly at loose forward was fabulous addition. Really good performer over the last 2 seasons in particular, and he'll be a tough one to replace. A top guy on and off the field. Over to you, Mr. Wolford.
Gary Ainley says, one of the best imports we've had, unfortunately, could bring success. One of the best imports we had, unfortunately, could bring success.
Couldn't bring success.
Couldn't bring some success of Storm with him, but mentally and physically, a superb signing by the club.
A Northern_Soul said, disappointed to see him go, been seeing more and more each season why we bought him. I can only imagine he got some sort of coaching offer. Well, something backing up, we've covered that. As he did express an interest in staying. Wolford saying the same. Easily had another season or two in him. Very, very underrated player who will be fondly remembered by the Giants and fans alike. A model professional and a genuine guy.
Mark W says, not a huge surprise, but still a shame. We looked twice the team with him on the field, a criminally underrated player, and a top bloke who I'm sure will make a great coach.
One of those sort of engine room players who can do a bit of everything, and also as a fan you appreciate him because, as a fan who's not, who wasn't the halfback in the school team, you can appreciate him because he built a lot of what he does on hard work, on effort and sort of leadership and that sort of stuff. And
what were you in the school team, Mark?
We didn't have a school rugby team in bloody Lytham St Anne's. Well, there'd have been school rugby union teams at some of the schools, I suppose, but even if there had been one...
I can't comment on this because I couldn't pick him out of a lineup, so should we just move on?
Yes, we shall move on, but congratulations on a great career and good luck in coaching. Move on.
It's your turn to do this.
England Knights head coach Paul Anderson is to join Warrington as their under-19s academy coach ahead of the 2019 season. Anderson, who's 46, led Huddersfield to the League Leaders Shield in 2013, stepping down in 2016 and taking up the role with the national team. The former prop won Super League and Challenge Cup titles with Bradford and St Helens and also played for Leeds and Halifax. I didn't know he played for Halifax, that's new on me. Meanwhile, Warrington Wolves head of performance John Clark will leave the club at the end of the season to take up a role in rugby union. So obviously someone who's shown his skills in developing players a little bit by his England Knights role potentially, hypothetically. Also, had some good times coaching at head coach level. Surprising that he's happy to take that role. He's been allowed to continue his Knights role alongside this. Kevin Sinfield said to him, I don't give a shit, I'm not going to be here next year.
do what you want, mate.
Yeah, so there you go.
And to be honest, he's just going to get to Red Hall one day and find it's been knocked down and turned into a bunch of flats.
There you go. No one will send on the new forwarding address, don't forget.
So, Hull KR winger Justin Carney has announced he will retire from rugby league at the end of the season and return to Australia. Carney, who joined Rovers from Salford in May 2017, scored 3 tries in 15 appearances. The 30-year-old is retiring. God. Moved to England with Castleford in 2013 after spells with Canberra and Sydney.
Yeah, he at 30 is ridiculous. I didn't think he was that young, to be honest. But I don't know how to wrap up Justin Carney's career. It's a strange one.
Tom Andrews was right.
But Tom Andrews says has been used more as a prop than a winger. But you always get excited when he gets the ball. You just know someone was going to get a stiff arm in the chops. Hope he enjoys retirement, hoping the out-of-contract Cansio returns. Yeah, Cansio was good. He was better than Justin Carney. Justin Carney's career has had sort of controversies, then sort of good runs of form. He just never could be consistent at anything other than being inconsistent. Whenever he played well, he'd do something. He'd find himself being embraced by the fans and then end up having to leave the club under a cloud wherever he had kind of been.
Do you know you could have said that sentence about 8 other rugby players that are currently playing
in the Super League. Yeah, all of them. Yeah,
one of which plays for you, Sam.
Some of the other ones named Carney.
Yes,
but yeah. So it's been an interesting career for Justin Carney. One thing you can't say was that there wasn't excitement with him on the field like Tom picks on. I think that's something that's fair to say. Mm-hmm. He had, his beast on the wing. What was his nickname? Tank on the flank. Yeah, that was one of them.
And you got on a tattoo.
But so it's hard to say good luck to him because he's done so many things that I don't.
Also, he's 30. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think this is the end with it. I don't think this is the end. I don't think this is the last we've heard of him. I think that he's gonna when he goes back to Oz, he's gonna end up. Someone's gonna be chasing him for payment on some kid that he's had over here that he didn't know about or something. Right. No doubt. And then
he's going to be on Jeremy Kyle or something.
Have to get a new job again. I just don't feel this is the last of it for him. But an exciting career, and he moves on. Someone else at the other end of their career, though, Dom.
Didn't I read the last one?
Is Widnes Vikings have started to rebuild for 2019. But it's so much easier when it's not in person to keep track. Widnes Vikings have started their rebuild for 2019 by signing sought-after fullback Ollie Ashall-Bott to a new 2-year deal. The 20-year-old came through the... 20? He's not 20, he's 12! Came through the ranks at Widnes after a strong performance in pre-season and was handed his debut earlier this year. I think a couple of the Widnes fans picked him out for us, actually, in the season previews. Young Ollie. I think he was just Ollie Ashall at the time. He hadn't hyphenated at that stage. But,
a smaller font on his shirt.
Good talent. Yeah. And
it's nice to see Widnes actually investing in players and starting to build for next year. That showing they're actually going to spend a bit of money for next year.
And classic bit of Widnes business.
2-year deal.
2-year deal,
obviously. Feather Rovers have acquired the services of youngster Morgan Punchard.
Where did I copy this from? That's a great way of saying it.
Acquired services sounds like.
Yeah. And also his name is a euphemism, isn't it?
The 19-year-old's past experiences include Winston's in Leeds, time spent at Halifax on the Australian side, Darlington Point, Combearley Roosters. Wow. Well, nice that Feather Rovers are also buying players rather than
just letting them all go. Yeah.
Yeah, and then blaming them for not keeping. No, that was Lee.
Was Lee blaming them all. Yeah. Yeah, it's all your fault, so you all should leave.
Yep.
Yeah. Ben Cockayne will play on for York City Knights in 2019, the club has confirmed. Cockayne, 35, is most remembered for his time at Hull KR and for Herbalife adverts online constantly and for beating someone up in the street, where he made more than 200 appearances across 2 spells. Cockayne, who has also played for Wakefield, Featherstone and Hunslet, joined the Knights ahead of the 2019 season. He's a good experienced player for them, so that's sensible business, really. Someone who can give him a little bit of experience at the level up, potentially.
And also, some people might want to go and see him. Oh, we'll see what he's doing. Might help attendance a bit. You hear that, Carney? 35, he's still playing on, your lazy gits. I'm going to say that one because I know you're not listening. England international Sam Burgess will finish his playing career.
We might be under legal trouble for that bit.
Will finish his playing career in the NRL with the South Sydney Rabbitohs after signing a 4-year extension to his contract. Burgess, 29, has played 160 games for the South in 2 spells. He was a key part of the 2014 Grand Final success.
And Tom Andrews got in touch. He said, Hull FC, most generous club ever. 4-year loan for the world's best prop, of course. He was signing for Hull if the hopes and dreams of the Hull FC faithful were to be believed earlier this season, but not to be. And do you know what? I'm gutted that there's not like a window where he might come back and be seen over here. It would have been a great interest thing. And people might turn around and say, why would he want to, and we can't afford him and all that sort of stuff, but it doesn't mean I can't dream, does it, Dan?